A customer incorporates a burglary into an array of bizarre situations one encounters in food service. In an unintended moment, this woman seizes an opportunity by squeezing through the window. What starts with a cup and a drink swiftly escalates. She fearlessly climbs fully into the store to pilfer whatever she desires. Concealing her identity with her shirt pulled over her head, she feels confident until the very end. Her confidence wavers as she fumbles, dropping a box of foodstuff before hastily shoving it out the window. However, this setback proves temporary as she swiftly recovers, passing it to an accomplice waiting in the car, enabling their swift getaway. At times, confronting a problem directly becomes the only viable solution. This became evident when a group of individuals encountered a menacing clown wielding a baseball bat, obstructing the road and posing a threat. Instead of passively waiting to gauge the clown's intentions, they made a bold choice to drive directly at the assailant in an attempt to evade the perilous situation. Ordinarily, using a vehicle to strike individuals is not an advisable course of action, but with limited alternatives available when faced with a dangerous individual wielding a lethal weapon, it seemed the only viable recourse for escape. A tranquil scene unfolds as a man leisurely walks by a cozy home. Suddenly, the peaceful atmosphere shifts when the flowers begin to tremble. Two individuals rush outside just moments before the chaos erupts. The water in the pool spirals violently in a clockwise motion, drawing attention to the fence behind. Out of nowhere, their neighbor crashes through the fence like the Kool-Aid Man, plunging into the whirlpool. He absorbs a massive wave to the face before staggering out and fleeing across the yard. As the commotion subsides, half of the pool lies empty and the yard is completely inundated. During an ordinary dive at Brothers Island in Egypt, YouTuber M. Hakim and his crew encountered a stroke of extreme misfortune. Initially appearing like a typical shark encounter with no imminent danger, the situation swiftly turns dire. The shark begins circling one of the divers, prompting a sense of threat. Attempting to evade the predator, the man finds himself targeted as the shark makes a sudden move to bite his foot. Fortunately, the attempt fails, and the shark swims away nonchalantly. However, the diver grows increasingly concerned about their safety. A few moments later, the shark returns, targeting the same individual, this time aiming for his face. Desperate to fend off the relentless attacker, the man puts up a formidable fight. He delivers a forceful punch to the shark's face, successfully intimidating it away. This harrowing encounter emphasizes the importance of being prepared to defend oneself in life-threatening situations. It raises the question, if faced with such proximity to a shark, would you swim away or fight it off? The dancer, a smooth criminal you wouldn't want to dance with. Shared on the YouTube channel Kisa Weba, this chilling video is gaining traction in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community. Despite many attempts, I couldn't trace its original source, but according to this channel, this video sparked the emergence of the Ayuwoki legend. Is this possibly the authentic Ayuwoki? It seems plausible. If so, it's best to find a swift exit, moonwalking our way out of here. Interested in a game of hide-and-seek with the UK's most haunted house? The YouTube team TFG Bro embarked on an overnight adventure there, seeking each other out. As the night progresses, things take a frightening turn. One of the hunters encounters a terrifying figure, only to realize it's just a statue or doll, easing the tension momentarily.
This room here, this was the most haunted room in there. This was like the worst room of the whole place, wasn't it?
Meanwhile, Romel discovers a new hiding spot.
I need to find another hiding spot and just stay there. I'm still not hiding in that church place. That's scary as shit. I haven't really utilised this room, actually. I'm trying to hide under this bed.
But an unexpected event unfolds as he settles in.
Is that? Boys! Boys! We're f***ing leaving.
Why?
I was getting ready to hide underneath a freaking bed and the wardrobe moved.
With the situation becoming increasingly eerie, the game ceases to feel like a mere amusement. It's too unsettling to continue. Game over seems like the apt choice. Around noon on December 12, 2022, a man casually entered what seemed to be a grocery store. Shortly after, 3 boys entered, and instead of making a purchase, they seize the man and forcefully pull him into a laundromat within the building. Inside, they dragged him around, robbed him, and swiftly left him. A campsite experiences a relatively tranquil moment until a bison saunters in, investigating potential food items. Initially, the individuals nearby maintain a composed demeanor. Unfortunately, the situation changes when the camera person unintentionally provokes the bison by walking behind it. This action prompts a brief charge, and the massive animal's mass and horns seemingly threatening. Facing a charge from such a hulking beast would undoubtedly be quite alarming. However, it's not always that a bison becomes aggressive when someone approaches. They can be placid creatures if treated with care and respect. This footage, recorded in Tartu, Estonia, and posted on YouTube in August of 2016, features 4 teenagers exploring an abandoned sauna constructed over a century ago in 1915, during Estonia's time under the Russian Empire. After serving its purpose for 80 years, the sauna was decommissioned in 1995, remaining abandoned for 23 years until its complete renovation in 2028 transformed into a functioning beauty salon as of the video's upload in 2023. Upon entering the dilapidated building, the visuals matched expectations for a structure abandoned for over 2 decades. Walls covered in extensive mold, heaters coated in rust, a hole-ridden floor, and overall unstable structure. During their exploration, the teens encountered unsettling messages scrawled on the walls, including an ominous one stating, "You can't hide," along with eerie stick figures drawn in other rooms. Initially, apart from the disturbing signs and some scattered personal belongings, there seemed to be no recent signs of habitation. However, around 20 minutes into their visit, one of the teens discovers a curtained door frame, prompting exploration. As they shine a flashlight into the room, a terrifying scream echoes from the shadows, prompting the 4 teenagers to flee in panic. Although the footage didn't capture the scream, it's presumed to be a homeless person caught off guard by unexpected visitors. Nonetheless, the experience was distressing for the explorers, even as a group. Following this incident in 2016, the boys decided never to return to the abandoned sauna. A disquieting video initially shared on TikTok by user Scariest sent chills across global viewers. Filmed in October 2023, the home security footage portrays a woman in a kitchen bearing unnaturally elongated arms and a hauntingly emaciated gray face. Accompanied by a narrative suggesting a young boy's unease with his mother's unusual behavior, the clip implies his discovery of her transformation into this eerie figure through their home CCTV system. The video swiftly garnered widespread attention, inciting speculation and wild theories among audiences. Some posit that the mother has been replaced by a skinwalker, a figure from folklore capable of imitating human forms, hinting at a sinister infiltration within the family's abode. As the video circulated widely, its enigmatic and unsettling nature captivated numerous viewers, sparking extensive online discussions. However, the footage's true origin soon came to light, unraveling a twist to the tale. It emerged that the unnerving footage was not a genuine occurrence, but a segment extracted from a relatively obscure Windows game titled Alternate Watch, released in May 2022 in its unfinished state, largely overlooked until its debut. Nonetheless, the game has since garnered a devoted following, with gamers streaming their experiences on platforms like Twitch. This incident underscores the delicate balance between reality and fiction in the digital era, where sophisticated game graphics can blur boundaries and captivate the imagination of a global audience. In 2007, Anne-Marie Linscott, a 49-year-old woman from Michigan, placed a freelance job advertisement on Craigslist. Though the ad has since been removed, the specifics aren't publicly accessible due to the sensitive nature of the case. 3 individuals who responded to the ad claimed it appeared to be for a freelance writing position. Alarmingly, upon responding to the ad, they received direct emails from Anne-Marie Linscott, revealing that she was actually seeking a contract killer. She offered $5,000 to anyone willing to eliminate Carol, a 56-year-old woman from California, and the wife of a man named Dwayne, with whom Linscott was having an affair. According to police reports, Anne-Marie and Dwayne initially met in an online college course in 2005. They subsequently met in person the same year, initiating their affair when Dwayne visited Nevada for a conference. 2 years later, Anne-Marie visited Dwayne in California, after which she began plotting to relocate to the West Coast. It was during this time that she posted the murder-for-hire advertisement on Craigslist. Upon the candidate's reports to the police, investigators located Anne-Marie Linscott and arrested her for soliciting murder through the internet. Further investigation revealed that she had also placed explosive devices outside Carol's bedroom in California, which failed to detonate, leading to no charges. However, following the incident, Carol departed from her family and profession for 3 months, necessitating hospitalization due to stress. According to Linscott's friends and family, this wasn't the first instance of her obsessive behavior towards a romantic interest. In 1997, she became infatuated with a colleague who had to obtain a restraining order after she began stalking him. Linscott's attorney explained that she suffered from borderline personality disorder and severe attachment issues. Despite this, she received a 12.5-year prison sentence in 2009, which she recently completed, having been released from prison. This vigilant neighbor in Kentucky witnessed a shocking incident around 5:30 p.m. as a 6-year-old child rode her bike near her home. Out of nowhere, a stranger grabbed her and swiftly forced her into his car. Fortunately, a police body cam captured the moment the child was rescued from the kidnapper.
Stay right there. Stay right there. Hello. It's okay. Come here.
The situation might have unfolded differently if not for the quick actions of the vigilant neighbor, Mr. Weatherford. He promptly got into his car and pursued the kidnapper, disregarding any potential weapons the kidnapper might have possessed. His swift action was crucial, and although he stopped upon seeing the police, he had gathered important evidence, a detailed description and a partial plate number for the car. That aided the authorities in locating the kidnapper. The police sprang into action, and in a matter of minutes spotted the car.
See your hands. What's your exact location? Hands.
The girl was rescued, and the 40-year-old kidnapper was taken into custody swiftly. This prompt resolution was thanks to the watchfulness of a neighbor. However, such harrowing situations could have been prevented if the child's parents had been more cautious. A 6-year-old child requires closer supervision to protect against such dangers and other potential risks. In 2017, on the Barbados Islands, a colossal humanoid figure strides across the landscape, its footsteps reverberating through the tropical night. This entity boasts 4 lengthy limbs and an enormous, densely foliaged upper body, either adorned in fur or enveloped in some form of plant growth, potentially leaves or mold. Emitting a resounding roar, it traverses the island, an imposing presence. If this isn't a computer-generated image, then what's being observed is undoubtedly a contemporary giant-like being, though unraveling its true origins may forever remain a mystery. This video displays a Tampa resident injecting a syringe filled with chemical opioids under the door of a neighboring family. Despite earlier noise complaints involving Zumming Lee, the family had no inkling that he would resort to such drastic actions. After several instances of illness, including the family's infant, the father installed a camera in a potted plant by their door. This camera footage ultimately captured Lee, a chemistry PhD student, administering hydrocodone and methane into the apartment. Lee now faces multiple charges, including several felonies tied to the incident. Fortunately, although many family members experienced symptoms, none suffered permanent injuries due to the chemical assault. Here's an enthralling tale from the realm of TikTok that might seem implausible. Picture this: you're heading to work when suddenly the police shut down an entire intersection. This is precisely what unfolded for TikTok user Roxana. With traffic at a standstill, she began recording, inquiring about the cause of the disruption. What ensued was pure pandemonium. Next to her car was a sizable truck and trailer, atop which stood a man evidently attempting to flee. Roxana realized that he was the source of the chaos and exclaimed, "It's because of him!" Barely catching her breath, she witnessed the man sprinting towards her vehicle. Startled, she cried out as she frantically tugged at her car door handle.
What the What the
Thankfully, her doors were locked. Swiftly, a police officer lunged at the suspect, bringing him down and handcuffing him before her eyes. Instead of panicking, Roxana's composed response was, "I'm going to be late for work."
I'm gonna be late for work! I'm gonna be late for work!
This nonchalant reaction left TikTok users astonished, sparking comments about her calm demeanor during such a frantic incident. The moral of the story: always lock your car doors. If you ever find yourself in a similar situation, having it on camera might just serve as a perfect excuse for being late to your boss. This job advertisement was posted on Craigslist in 2011, seeking someone to oversee farmland and care for cows in southern Ohio in exchange for $300 per week. However, what seemed like an ordinary job posting turned out to be one of the decade's most infamous cases of criminal activity related to an ad. The advertisement sought a caretaker for a farm in southern Ohio, offering $300 a week and a 2-bedroom trailer, preferring an older single individual, though open to considering all. Relocation was required, emphasizing a clean record and trustworthiness. The job's description mentioned the farmland's use as a hunting preserve, its seclusion, and its scenic beauty, making it an ideal getaway for the right person. Several men responded to the ad and were interviewed by a man named Jack, accompanied by his 16-year-old nephew, Brogan Raffi. Candidates who reached the interviewing stage saw nothing suspicious about Jack and his nephew. They appeared to be regular farmers looking for someone to manage their land. However, one interviewee, Scott Davis, encountered a terrifying situation during his interview. After having breakfast with John and Brogan, he was taken to a remote, wooded area where Jack pointed a gun at him. Though the gun misfired, Scott was shot in the elbow. Despite his injury, he escaped, running through the woods for several hours before finding help. A tragic turn came when a woman named Deborah Bruce reported her twin brother, David Pauley, missing after responding to the same job ad. David, who drove from Virginia with hopes of restarting his life, was found dead along with another victim named Ralph Gager. Investigations revealed a pattern. Jack and Brogan targeted vulnerable middle-aged men, luring them with the prospect of a job before robbing and fatally shooting them. They aimed for individuals with limited family ties, hoping their disappearance would go unnoticed. Police traced the Craigslist ad to Joe Bice's home, implicating a tenant known as Dutch. Subsequently, Richard Beasley, using different identities, was identified as Dutch. He had fled and evaded detection by using various aliases, including those of his victims. Beasley's accomplice, Brogan Raffi, was apprehended, and a search of his residence revealed weapons and a disturbing poem describing a murder. Beasley was found guilty of multiple charges, including murder, robbery, and kidnapping, while Brogan was sentenced to life without parole. This deceptive job posting became one of Craigslist's most notorious lures, contributing to the site's dubious reputation in recent times. Passenger or flight attendant disruptions might occasionally be expected during a flight, but experiencing a pilot's meltdown would undoubtedly be the most alarming. Back in 2012, passengers found themselves in such a scenario when JetBlue's 49-year-old pilot, a 12-year veteran named Osborne, suddenly began to rant and rave mid-flight. On a journey from New York to Las Vegas, he emerged from the bathroom, urging passengers to say your prayers and making alarming statements about the plane going down. His ramblings escalated to include mentions of Iraq, Iran, 9/11, Sin City, and Jesus, all shouted incoherently from the cockpit. It startled his co-pilot, who was taken aback as Osborne delved into disjointed religious talk and nonsensical commentary about irrelevance. At one point, he even demanded pushing the throttle to its limit. Concerned, the co-pilot summoned another JetBlue pilot on board. Osborne attempted to disrupt the flight, even trying to access the cockpit, but the co-pilot had changed the security codes and called for ground assistance. Osborne's erratic behavior continued, running through the aisles and shouting nonsensical thoughts. Frightened passengers intervened, including a retired NYPD sergeant, trying to restrain and soothe him. Osborne, experiencing a mental breakdown, was taken to the hospital, charged with interfering with a flight crew, and suspended, potentially facing up to 20 years in prison. A rather harrowing day at work for all involved. The Halloween masked robber struck at a store on Middle Country Road in Coram, Long Island. Wearing a red Halloween mask and a green top, he strolled casually towards the cashier, holding a gun that made his demeanor all the more chilling. With the weapon in hand, he demanded cash, and the cashier, whose hand was the only one visible, complied, handing money in a bag over the counter. Though unseen, it's certain the cashier was petrified and likely trembling at the sight of the pistol. The masked robber swiftly took the cash and fled the scene. This cell phone video stands out as one of the most terrifying clips I've encountered, and I've seen my fair share of spine-chilling videos. The video captured a chilling incident involving 20-year-old India Mackey and her 18-year-old boyfriend, Kevin Dixon, as they engaged in a heated argument in his van parked near his residence in Warren, Detroit. The exact cause of the dispute remains unknown, but tensions escalated rapidly. The intensity heightened as Kevin was seen wiping a bullet and loading a handgun while stating, "You think I'm playing, huh? These big 45 hollow tips are gonna eat you up."
Playing, huh?
Okay.
Think I'm playing, huh? Hit you with this big 4-5 hollow tips, gonna eat you.
This alarming moment, captured on video by Mackey, signaled trouble, prompting her to start recording on her phone. Shortly after this recording, police found Kevin driving recklessly with Mackey's lifeless body still in the vehicle. According to the police, Mackey was discovered dead. Kevin claimed that she had been handling the gun, leading to an accidental discharge that killed her. However, the crucial detail emerged that India had initiated video recording on her phone moments before the fatal shooting occurred. On March 30th, 2014, inside a vehicle, a man accompanied by his daughter navigates a poorly lit road where visibility is extremely limited despite having headlights on. The driver's view extends only about 20 or 30 feet ahead. A few seconds into the recording, a car approaches the opposite direction, flashing its headlights, seemingly as a warning. Regrettably, the driver doesn't have sufficient time to react, leading to a grim sequence of events. While attempting to avoid a man standing in the middle of the road, the driver swerves, but struggles to regain control of the vehicle. In the heat of the moment, The car careens off the road and ends up in a ditch. Although the man seems to have his back turned to the vehicle at the time of the incident, there's no justification for standing in the middle of a dark road with passing cars. Considering his irrational behavior, it's possible he was under the influence or attempting self-harm. However, since the man fled the scene immediately, his true intentions remain a mystery. The driver and his daughter sustained minor injuries, and despite police efforts, the mysterious man was never found. In May of 2021, a series of powerful storms surged through West Virginia, bringing with them winds reaching speeds of up to 70 miles an hour. On May 26th, Amber Revas found herself driving along Route 51 in Jefferson County when a terrifying event unfolded. Her dashcam recorded the moment power lines collapsed onto the road. Reacting swiftly, Amber skillfully steered her vehicle off the road, narrowly avoiding a collision with the falling power lines. She later shared the video on Facebook, expressing her gratitude for those who stopped to assist her. Incidents like these pose multifaceted dangers. Beyond the risk of being crushed by the weight of falling power lines, there's the peril of electrocution. Should a live power line come in direct contact with a vehicle or even approach closely, the driver faces the possibility of a fatal electrocution. Additionally, there's the potential for the power line to ignite the car's fuel, potentially resulting in a fire or explosion. Fortunately, in Amber's case, the wires didn't come near enough to cause any harm to her vehicle, allowing her to drive away unscathed. The authorities were determined to halt the car's progress due to reports indicating that the person behind the wheel was suspected of being a drunk driver and allegedly operating a stolen vehicle. According to KCBS, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Office initiated a pursuit of the suspect, tracing their route through the streets of Compton and onto the freeway. The helicopter monitoring the situation encountered difficulties in keeping pace with the car, especially as it navigated overpasses. As per the report, once the suspect drove under the 105 freeway overpass, they abandoned the vehicle and continued their escape on foot. Deputies were observed searching for the suspect using flashlights in the darkness, but no arrests were reported as of yet. Enormous waves prompted lifeguards in Ventura, California to urgently request surfers to exit the water. Meteorologists had predicted the arrival of massive waves between December 28th and the 30th, and their forecast was accurate. Several advisories issued by the National Weather Service led authorities to close beaches and advise people to steer clear of the coastline. Naturally, despite these warnings, not everyone heeded the advice. Video footage from the Ventura County Fire Department captured bystanders standing behind the parking lot wall as a wave crashed over, causing chaos and sending people running. Unfortunately, some of the individuals couldn't move fast enough and ended up needing hospitalization due to the force of the water. According to the reports, 8 people were sent to the hospital following this incident. A local resident, who was a former surfer, mentioned to the KCBS that she and others familiar with the area knew better than to venture into the waters during such conditions.
And we know better than to go out in the water. It is really big and supposedly getting bigger.
The waves, which were reported to be around 15 to 20 feet high, were anticipated to continue along the Southern California coastline, posing risks of flooding and potential property damage. The National Weather Service issued a warning about the substantial wave energy across the coastal waters, creating extremely perilous conditions at the beach that were expected to persist throughout the weekend. A fire erupted in a high-rise building in Edgewater, a frightening situation for the residents there. Some were even preparing to jump from their windows to escape the flames. During the incident, emergency crews were battling the fire and conducting rescues. 2 individuals were taken to the hospital. The smoke was so thick that people were scrambling to find safety. We have an image from a woman who was hanging out of a window, witnessed by others from a 4-story window. Rescuers reached her within minutes as she was on the verge of jumping from the 4th floor. Her arms were extended over the window ledge, which was an incredibly scary moment for her and those watching. Additionally, we have obtained video footage showing flames pouring out of the windows of the high-rise. The fire spread to the 7th floor, starting at the 6th floor and extending upwards. The situation is particularly challenging with intense smoke. There are 224 units in this building, and one tenant reported hearing firefighters evacuating people while the building filled with smoke. Unfortunately, the fire alarms were not functioning, and there were previous issues reported at this location.
And then all we heard was a firefighter banging on the door telling us to get out, the building's on fire. So I look at her and we grab our stuff. And when we opened the door, it was just filled with smoke. There were no fire alarms going off, and he was evacuating everybody out the building.
Fire officials are still at the scene, working to manage the situation. There are concerns about the fire alarms not working properly, and this building has a history of violations. At present, there are 49 fire companies and 155 firefighters on the scene, with 2 people transported to the hospital. Details about the cause of the fire and its extent remain unclear at this time. An eerie presence seems to haunt this military base, stirring speculation among paranormal investigators. YouTube team Staffordshire Paranormal Explorers shared a recording showcasing what they claimed to be supernatural occurrences during their investigation.
I don't believe that.
In the clip, the door is heard closing on its own, a spine-chilling sound that warrants attention. The unsettling nature of this phenomenon prompts the need for a deeper exploration of this supposedly haunted location. The potential discoveries in such an investigation remain unknown, leaving room for intrigue. The atmosphere at the campsite fell eerily silent when a bear was spotted approaching their location. Everyone held their breath, frozen in anticipation of the bear's next move. Initially calm, the situation quickly escalated as the bear came closer to the site. One of the bikers revved their bike, catching the bear's attention, and another followed suit, revving at a high level. Startled, the bear panicked and dashed back into the forest. But the bear wasn't finished yet. In a coordinated effort, all the bikers revved their engines, finally intimidating the animal enough to retreat completely into the woods. It's a scenario that often haunts many people's fears, and when it happens, the dread of drowning becomes a harrowing reality. A group of young individuals experienced firsthand what it's like to be trapped in a flooding elevator during a massive storm in Nebraska. It's surreal because you expect to see this only in movies, not in your daily life. Their decision to use the elevator amidst the flooding proved to be a grave mistake, as the confined space rapidly filled with water, leaving them with limited time before the space would run out of air. They found themselves immersed, struggling in the rising water, uncertain about their survival.
Honestly, I would say this is #1, the most scariest thing in my life. Yep, hands down.
Undoubtedly, it stands out as one of the most terrifying moments of their lives. Fortunately, they were eventually rescued, but not before experiencing the frantic desperation of reaching out for help, fully aware that their lives hung in the balance. One of them even pleaded, acknowledging that, if help didn't arrive, the situation could have turned fatal. This incident served as a stark reminder that sometimes it's safer to stay put in a secure location rather than venture out to investigate potentially dangerous situations. If you ever pondered what transpires when football players are stuck in an elevator, this video is for you. Zach Banner went live and showed what was happening. You would think, with the blazing temperatures, it'd be a hellhole. However, the team made this terrifying experience into a congested party and would eventually escape the situation alive.
It's the elevator ride. This the elevator ride. This the elevator ride. Someone just farted, and our top 2 suspects, Toa Lobanon, Jordan Austin, and that guy. My phone's on 2%. This is probably my last message. Telling us to get out.
500 pounds. And apparently the elevator guy had told us that
Elevators can actually hold up to like 10,000 pounds or something like that, but they have that limit in the sensor, so it literally stops.
In this chilling video, a woman is walking but is unaware a train is coming. Luckily, she noticed at the last second and was able to evade the train. That girl needs to count her blessings. One more step and she would have been pudding. A dynamometer, often called a dyno, serves as a tool to gauge an engine's torque and RPM, providing the means to calculate the vehicle's horsepower using the formula. Horsepower equals torque multiplied by RPM divided by 5,252. Every year, truck enthusiasts gather at Ogden, Utah for an event challenging trucks to achieve the highest horsepower. During the September 20th, 2020 event, a driver named Sean, along with his truck named Master Shredder, had already exceeded 2,920 horsepower and 4,000 torque, but he aimed for more, pushing his engine to its limit. Unfortunately, this pursuit led to an unexpected fireball. Sean, lucky to escape with only minor injuries and bruises, witnessed his vehicle catch fire. Prompt action from the others prevented the fire from spreading across the event. The title for the most horsepower belongs to a colossal engine standing 44 feet tall and stretching 87 feet long. This engine, part of Emma Maersk's, one of the world's largest container ships, produces a staggering 17,390 horsepower, propelling the vessel at a top speed of around 25.5 knots or 29.3 miles per hour. The unnerving discovery of a locked hallway's cryptic jump scare might be one of those eerie finds best left unexplored. In this TikTok clip by Austin OG, the scene appears to be a locked gate, offering little at first glance. Yet, a chilling surprise emerges from the dim depths of the hallway, hurtling towards the camera, abruptly ending the video. Whatever it was remains unclear, leaving viewers with an unsettling mystery. Sometimes, it's wiser not to delve into locked hallways, avoiding potential surprises better left unencountered. This footage, captured in Chile on February 26, 2022, and later shared on Reddit, displays a concerning incident. The driver's dashcam records a white car ahead, acting suspiciously and braking excessively on the road leading to a tunnel. Keeping a safe distance, the driver with the dashcam notices the white car coming to a halt, marking the beginning of an intriguing turn of events. Suddenly, 4 individuals jump out of the white car and start sprinting towards the driver's vehicle, indicating a potential carjacking attempt. Sensing the danger, the driver reacts swiftly, accelerating to evade the attackers. The assailants narrowly avoid being struck as the driver collides with the white car, enabling a rapid getaway. What captivated many viewers was the driver's remarkable composure throughout the harrowing incident. His quick-witted response averted potential danger, suggesting prior experience in handling such situations. The uploader of the video shared additional context, mentioning the prevalence of such carjackings in Chile, particularly after 10 p.m. The driver's proactive approach is really what kept him unharmed. Unfortunately, there's limited information available about the fate of the carjackers post-incident. Christopher Brian Hill, known for his urban exploration on YouTube channel, Herc Hill, has spent a decade showcasing raw footage of abandoned and eerie locations, often facing perilous situations during his ventures. Urban explorers like Chris encounter various risks, from stray animals to hazardous structures, making abandoned site exploration far more perilous than it seems. While exploring at night and solo, Chris explored the abandoned Westinghouse electric factory in Cleveland, Ohio. Built over a century ago, originally comprising 7 buildings, most have since been demolished. The Westinghouse Company, established in 1886, arrived in Cleveland in 1984 and boasted notable engineers like Nikola Tesla and William Stanley. The factory, a former lighting equipment production site, lay abandoned since 1979, drawing curiosity from urban explorers and YouTubers, particularly after a scene from The Avengers was filmed there in 2012. Chris's exploration, recorded in June 2022, starts calmly, but eerie sounds, like distant gunshots, unsettle the atmosphere. Cleveland's ranking among the most dangerous U.S. cities added to the tension.
That's Cleveland. Wow. That's crazy. It's not even that far away from here. Oh, that sounds like a shootout.
Chris's experience includes encounters with recent signs of inhabitation, like a mattress, hinting at someone's presence. He ascends through the building, capturing only the echo of his footsteps.
Okay, I'm hearing something. Maybe it's an animal. This animal's down here.
The basement exploration intensifies as Chris encounters dead ends, eerie noises, and a few shell casings, hinting at a handgun presence. The video reveals alarming graffiti messages. However, the most unsettling moment occurs when Chris encounters a hunched figure, attempting to offer help but receives no response.
This is so weird. Oh, it scared the out of me. Yo. You need some help, bro? Yo. He's not even responding. I'm gonna leave him alone. Get the out of his way. Bro, that's crazy.
Later, Chris decides to assist the man, but upon returning, the individual vanishes, sparking concerns about squatters or possibly dangerous individuals.
I'm gonna help that dude out. I'm gonna give this dude a $20 bill. Yo. Hey, I got some money for you. He's not there, and he's not responding.
The encounter becomes even more ominous as a bat appears, and Chris realizes he was being watched by the man he attempted to help, unseen by Chris at the time.
There's a lot of bats down here, too.
Chris finally decides to leave, hearing a cell phone vibrate, hinting at more individuals lurking nearby. Fortunately, he exits the site unharmed, though he never learns the identity or intentions of the mysterious figure. Consequently, no further videos of the Westinghouse factory were uploaded by Chris. In this Australian footage, we witness the remarkable grace and majesty of these immense creatures. Diver Jenny Bradshaw had a specific assignment to document and study great white shark sightings in Perth. After a few minutes of tracking, the animal emerged and displayed an action almost reminiscent of something seen only in movies. This day was filled with surprises for Jenny, who remains in awe of the incredible display of strength exhibited by these powerful sharks. Have you ever observed a kidnapping? Keep an eye on the woman carrying her child in her arms. Her 4-year-old daughter stands just a few feet away, seemingly safe. Unfortunately, the kidnapper was indifferent to this. They pushed the door open and swiftly grabbed the girl. Both the mother and another customer chased after the kidnapper, but the child broke free and ran back to her mother. These men entered a McDonald's, and from the footage, everything seemed typical. The CCTV captures them laughing and joking around inside the restaurant after a recent assault on a local teenager. Following the attack, they proceed to McDonald's as if they hadn't just been involved in a violent crime. The ease with which they carry on is unsettling, as if the severity of their actions doesn't fully register, or perhaps because it's an everyday event for them, abandoning their victim as abruptly as they had shown in the first place. In Florida, USA, a CCTV camera captured a thief breaking into a car and swiftly snatching an envelope before disappearing into the shadows from where they emerged. The thief adeptly entered the car and retrieved the envelope from the glove compartment within a mere 30 seconds. Speculation arises about the contents of the envelope, as the owner had recently withdrawn $14,000 in cash from a nearby bank, all of which was stored in that envelope taken by the thief.
That guy used like a punch device to use in the corner of the car, and then all the glass shattered and then broke it.
The victim says the thief used a punching device to break the car window, swiftly grabbing the cash-filled envelope. This suggests that the victim was specifically targeted. Otherwise, how would he know the envelope was there? The thief drives away in a Land Rover, skillfully evading the cameras to prevent his license plate from being captured. Is he conscious of the camera? You wonder as the video rolls. He strides closer, fiddling with something around his neck, a casual saunter towards the surveillance camera. Just before vanishing from the frame, he pauses, almost as though acknowledging the camera's presence. Moments later, he's revealed as a carjacker, swiftly stealing the car displayed on screen, coercing the original owners out and speeding off. Observing the vehicle's owner stepping out and walking to the car's front seems orchestrated, almost as if it was directed by someone else. The carjacker likely wielded a weapon, instilling fear in the others. Witness the woman's terror as they're compelled out of the vehicle, fleeing in haste, seemingly chased by some unseen dread, seeking distance. I wonder if they recovered the car, but above all, I hope the women aren't left traumatized by that harrowing experience. In July 2018, in the following footage captured from a security camera at a bustling cafe in Paris, we witness a brief yet concerning incident. The clip features student Maria Glare crossing a street, encountering a man heading in the opposite direction. As they pass each other, however, they briefly exchange glances before continuing in their respective paths. Unexpectedly, the man stops, altering his course, and approaches Marie, just out of the camera's view. He appears visibly agitated, gesturing accusingly at her. As Marie re-enters the camera frame, her head abruptly jerks to the side, indicating she received a blow to the face. Cafe patrons react with shock. One individual stands up, seemingly preparing to act aggressively, but refrains, engaging in a brief conversation with the assailant before walking away. Although the footage lacks audio, a description details that the man made inappropriate remarks towards Marie, in which she responded in a manner he evidently disliked. Following Marie's assault, 6 people stand up, 5 of whom move towards the aggressor. Yet no definitive action is taken. Disturbingly, the rest of the cafe's patrons remain seated, with 2 nearby women appearing to resume their conversations shortly after the incident. The swift occurrence likely left many in a state of shock, and the intervening post-assault could have been deemed assault itself as the aggressor was already departing. Marie is physically unharmed, but distressingly notes that such incidents are a daily occurrence, happening everywhere. In this video posted by The Guy with Cars, Matthew and some friends explored an infamously abandoned building in Utah. It seemed like a whole lot of nothing for a while. Just graffiti and food containers. However, that would all change when Matthew and his buddies got the scare of a lifetime. Keep watching because you don't want to miss this.
Give me a light. Oh, hello there. Hi. Okay. That's awkward. Yep, that's awkward.
Matthew still posts videos, so I think it's safe to say that he and his friends got out of there unharmed. Thank God. In this video, YouTuber Adventures Between Monster Adventures is exploring a grassy area which appears to be empty. But that changed in the blink of an eye when he encountered a terrifying, mysterious figure. Watch this.
يا الله يا الله طيب شو بيعمل هيك؟ بس يرفع ايده عيونه بيضوجن بزياده يا الله عيونه بيضوجن راسي يا الله يا الله يا ابوي عيونه شو شو يا الله رمى عصايته معقول بدنا يا ابوي عيونه يا الله يا رب.
The figure didn't seem to be fazed at all by the camera. Adventures still posts to this day, so it's a good thing the figure didn't have any cruel intentions in mind. During the Medusa Festival in Cullera, Valencia, strong winds wreak havoc. This renowned electronic music festival, held annually in Spain for 6 days, usually inundates fans with electronic music and overall enjoyment. However, tragedy struck in August 2022 when strong winds caused chaos at the event. The footage reveals the relentless buffeting of wind against everything within the venue, scattering debris and pulling trees in different directions. Tents strain against the force of the wind, while a metal display visibly shakes. The hot air exacerbates the danger, as these winds easily cause chaos and destruction. Sadly, a section of the stage collapsed, injuring some fans. The video shows a significant portion of the stage being blown across the Medusa grounds, a sight that would certainly evoke a sense of foreboding when considering the potential damage it could cause. In this TikTok video by Magnus Madsen 6, Madsen wants to prove his house is haunted. No one believed him, so he decided to record his room while he was asleep. What happened next is truly horrifying. Keep watching because you won't believe this. As you saw, an object of his mysteriously slides off his desk. You can tell this isn't edited by having a real time clock that shows the passing of time. Madsen said he'll post a follow-up video possibly, but let's hope he finds a home that isn't haunted. In this video posted by News Station April of 2021, the most horrifying experience happened to this Uber driver. He was driving an elderly woman home, and what happened next will shock you and potentially traumatize you. This is not for the faint of heart.
Well, an Uber driver in Florida says he was scratched, strangled, and bitten by his passenger. It happened last weekend when a woman asked him to get her mother home safely. NewsNation's Christine McClarty spoke to the victim, who says he's now traumatized by what happened.
I'm just your Uber driver. I'm just your Uber driver.
The elderly woman's daughter called the Uber for her. She was asleep for most of the ride before waking up and viciously attacking the driver. She scratched him, bit him, and strangled him. The driver was understandably terrified and thought he was about to die. The woman was arrested and believed to be under the influence. There's no clear explanation as to why she did that, and those that know her claimed that that was not like her at all. Regardless of whether or not that's true, it's no excuse for what she did, and she needed to be put behind bars. The now former driver stated he no longer does Uber, and I don't blame him a bit. In this video by Mario Lara posted on September 13th, 2021, a woman is shuffling through a box before the unthinkable happens. The woman's leg is grabbed by something invisible, which drags her into the garage before she miraculously freed herself. Thank God she escaped, or who knows what would have happened. If you think that was scary, keep watching for our next pic that will leave you feeling disturbed. In this video by Caught on Tape, posted on December 28th of 2011, a construction worker was working on a house in the middle of the night before experiencing the scare of a lifetime. Take a look at this terrifying looking figure. The title of the video suggests it's an alien. Other than the bald head and glowing eyes, there's no distinctive features on this being. What do you think that thing is? In this video posted on June 1st of 2017, the dashcam captures the driver riding along a dark path on the Kerala highway in India. As they were driving, they experienced the most terrifying encounter of a lifetime. Keep watching because this is crazy. If you didn't notice, there was a mysterious figure that went out of view when the driver passed. What was that thing? And what was that lady doing on the road in the middle of the night? In this video, posted by Chris Buell on March 9th, 2016, a toddler wakes up in the middle of the night and stands on the edge of his crib. This isn't normal for a toddler to have this level of coordination at that age. Many believe paranormal activity takes place. If you look closely, it looks like the toddler is leaning towards something invisible for support. The screams of terror are profoundly disturbing and are not for the faint of heart. I believe this was paranormal activity, and it's going to be hard to explain this being fake. In this video, posted by Scary and Mysterious Stuff, this CCTV footage caught something that will haunt and terrify you. Keep watching because you won't believe this. A mysterious figure with a skull face and a red robe emerged in the distance in the center of the camera, then moved around before eventually disappearing. What was that thing? Let me know what you think. Stay tuned for our next pic that will give you nightmares. In this video posted by Creepy Macaroni on December 2nd, 2019, a creature called a duende can be seen. The description says that the duende is similar to elves, gnomes, goblins, and dwarves, and that they are smaller people rarely seen in the eye of the public. Duendes are also believed to perversely invade homes at night. What do you think? Is the creature mischievous or just straight up evil? And do you think this is fake or real? Let me know. If you're enjoying the video, don't forget to drop a like and hit that subscribe button and turn on post bell notifications so you never miss an upload. In this video by Mad Mupp, posted on February 16th of 2012, Mad Mupp wrote in the intro, and I quote, This is actual unedited security camera footage recorded by myself using my phone." End quote. The gate in this footage is padlocked. The padlock was locked firmly according to the uploader. The footage captured the gate being shaken roughly, followed by the padlock being turned and then the gate magically opened. You see there's clearly no one in the vicinity, which begs the question, is this warehouse haunted? I don't see how you could fake this. In this video posted by Deranged Sajib, we find real footage of a jinn. If you don't know what a jinn is a supernatural creature that's not necessarily good or evil. The jinn in this video appears to lean towards the evil side. The creature was first seen sitting on the ground, apparently just reading something. Later in the video, the creature appears to have cast a spell. You just have to watch this because you won't believe what happens next. Rocks came crashing down on the poor men. Towards the end, they get an up-close look at the creature, which had a long white beard, but no distinct features other than that. Stay tuned for our #1 pick that will shock you. In this video posted by Sabia L on January 11th, 2021, we find some eerie paranormal activity. The uploader is breathing heavily as she turns to face a strange noise. Keep watching because this is freaky.
What the fuck is that?
You see the door closed mysteriously, along with the fixtures swinging back and forth for no apparent reason. The door opened up again and the lights began to flicker on and off. Sabia mustered the courage to go into the kitchen, but no one was there, though some drawers and a cabinet door were open. She leaves the kitchen, then shortly hears a loud noise again, along with the lights going out. What happens next is downright terrifying, and you just have to see it to believe it. Keep watching. We all saw that shadowy figure that just cannot be explained. What was that? A ghost? Or what? Thanks for watching. Stay vigilant, friends.